That does not happen for everyone, Kenny. Like, is that like when you go to Target? Does that happen? They just like start applauding.
Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
It's my first time doing your show.
I know. So how's your summer going?
Oh, it's going great.
Yeah?
Yeah, the sun goes down.
I feel like you are summer. You like islands, you like water, you like heat.
Yeah, it's going really good out there. We started about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're getting into the groove now. You know, it's early out there, so the band and I don't hate each other just yet. You know, everybody's still in a great mood. Everybody's still having fun. So, but it's going absolutely.
Yeah, but can I tell you? Let's just look at this picture, man. This is not normal. Like when I go on tour, Kenny, and you fly.
And I don't do that down the hall of the house either.
You fly. That's incredible.
Yeah.
No, that's just insane. Like your tours are not normal tours, man. You do stadium tours, and it's insane. And this has been like over 20 years of doing those kind of tours.
We did our first one in 2005, I think.
Dude. That's crazy.
Yeah,
do you get overwhelmed? Because that's a different environment, being in a stadium and hearing everybody sing with you.
It's a different feeling because I don't have that energy. You know, as you know, being a performer, that connection you feel with an audience.
The energy, yeah.
You don't, like that guy jumping up and down in that picture, I don't take that person with me every day. You know what I mean? I don't have that energy in my life every day. So that's what makes it really special when you're up there and you're in that moment. It's almost like I don't know how to explain it. It's like an out-of-body experience, like another version of yourself.
Oh, I am not like, I am this just all the time.
You're that all the time?
I am 110 all the time, man.
I like being, but trust me, I love like meeting that guy again.
No, there is something different. I will say, when you get on stage, there's even a certain, I have more confidence. I have more, like I'm pretty confident in general. I just mean, there is something that kind of, I feel like takes over. You know, like just a different
it's almost a different version of yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then when you're in front of all those people, it's just, you go, wow, this is.
It feels like lightning, yeah.
Yes, it's just like, okay, wow, this is, to see that many people connect with what you've built. And
yeah, well, not many people see that many people connecting with you.
Well, I understand that, but it's not like we woke up one day and it was like that. It was built over years.
Yeah. Well done, sir. So you got an honorary doctorate. That's amazing.
I did.
What did you major in when you went to college? That's incredible. Looking all sharp.
That's the first suit I've had on since '88, swear to God. I don't know what I did to get the doctorate.
Yeah.
They just told me that they wanted to give it to me. So I went to East Tennessee State, and I had to speak. I can sing, but if you ask me to, I can sing in front of 50,000. If you ask me to talk to 5, I go,
yeah, it's very different. Talking
so
in
I
front
had to
of people.
talk, I had to accept that doctorate. And the only thing I could think of is I was just imagining me talking to my band and making everyone, I still do this as a joke, but they don't take me seriously. But I made everybody, for a while, I insisted they address me as Dr. Chesney. and some of these people have known me for over 20 years, and they just refuse.
They're like, I will not,
but
sir.
But I still, somebody every now and then will say, hey, Dr. Chesney.
Oh my God, as soon as I would have it be my pass, you know? I would put it on there with me, and like I would totally do that.
Little stethoscope.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what did you major in though when you were in college?
Marketing and advertising.
Do you remember anything helpful from your marketing classes?
Well, I mean,
You seem to be able to market well, sir.
Yeah. Well, there's the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. I remember that.
Okay.
And that's kind of if you're selling music or shoes.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You know.
Selling.
But yeah, I remember certain things from school.
Like what? Anything?
Well, I used to try to impress girls by quoting different formulas, like mathematical formulas. And sometimes it worked, and sometimes they looked at me like I was crazy.
Wait, what is this? Is this a formula you know?
What,
is that a formula you know?
Is that the quadratic formula?
Oh my God! You might as well have said flex capacitor.
I'm not even going to look at it. And I think if you gave me numbers, I could apply it. But let's see, x equals.
You are not. Are you? You're not.
I haven't looked at it. Let me see. If it's a quadratic formula, this was burned into my head in high school.
Okay.
By my math teacher, Joe Hollander.
Okay. Any moment now.
X equals. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root.
How can you be plus and minus at the same time?
Of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Can I get it? I got it.
How many dates did that land you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
not many, but I mean, it
sounds impressive.
But yeah, I mean, it didn't. I mean, not as many dates as my guitar did.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, if I was on a date and someone said anything like quadratic formula, no, I would just know that we're not meant to be together. I would be like, oh man, you're in a different league. Maybe. You're in a different league. I'm like foil algebra. That's like
maybe
the last.
That's why they gave me a honorary doctorate. Yeah. I have no idea.
Nobody's handing that to me, Kenny. His new album is called Born, and you can see him on his Sun Goes Down tour this summer. So tell us about the new album. You've been doing albums forever. What's different about this one?
Well, there's just a lot of human behavior on it. And the last song we wrote for the record is a song called Guilty Pleasure.
Yeah. And
I have a lot of different, it depends on where I'm at in my life, what guilty pleasure that I have.
Okay.
Like when I'm on my boat, it's usually like a coconut rum and a sugar-free Red Bull. And I mix those two together. We call that a boat captain bin.
Okay.
And that was, you know, so that's my guilty pleasure when I'm on a boat.
Okay.
And we were just talking about family a little bit. So anytime I go to East Tennessee, my guilty pleasure, I mean, I come from a family of emotional eaters.
Yeah.
So that's my guilty pleasure is country cooking.
Yeah. You know what?
So,
I don't feel guilty about my pleasure. I don't believe in it. You know, and it's the best thing when people come up to you too. Might not happen to you, but people come to me, it's usually men, and they're grown men, and they like, you know, they'll come up and they'll be like, man, you're my guilty pleasure. And I'm like, it's not a compliment. You know, it's not a compliment. It's not you can't say it with your whole chest.
You have a really good point.
Yeah, you can't say with your whole chest that you're a fan. What does that mean? Like, yeah. No, but I don't know. I think I learned a long time ago. I'm like, I'm not gonna feel guilty about my pleasure. I'm just gonna enjoy my pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I get the metaphor of guilty pleasure. I get that.
Well, this song was written about a completely different kind of guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
I didn't want to ruin your song just then, but I was being honest. Wait, on another song called "Wherever You Are Tonight," which I love that title. You sing, "Hearts will break, we cry, we grieve, we die, we go but never leave. Yeah. We linger in the lives of those we love." I love that. That's nice.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't know where we go, you know, when we die.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that that we have loved ones up there guiding us into places that's good for us.
Yeah.
Right? And I like to believe that. You know, I grew up Baptist, so I like to believe that.
Southern Baptist.
And so it's hard to sing about these kind of songs, sing songs about this because it's so uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah.
But in the last couple of years, you know, you get to a place in your life and, well, I realized that I had some really close friends pass.
Yeah.
And it happens frequently now, really. And so when I heard this song, it just spoke to me on so many levels. And I went, well, you know, maybe someone out there can relate to it, you know, and that's what music is all about. That's what songs are all about.
Absolutely, to move you.
But I appreciate you bringing that up because that song is really special to me.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I think it's beautiful. Well, I'm like this too. I think a lot of artists are, but you've always used music to kind of work through emotions, like where you're at in life.
Yes.
I do too. I use records like that, and I try not to be like very specific to what's happening in my life.
Right.
Sometimes that's very hard.
Yeah.
Because that's what your life is.
Yeah.
You know, and that your art is like expressing that. So, do you feel like that's been you your whole career?
Well, I've danced around it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you're younger, you don't want to be so literal because you're trying to whatever it is you're trying to protect.
Yeah.
You know, but the more you create and the more you make records and the more you feel the connection of other people on stage. I mean, there's nothing more powerful than vulnerability. Mm-hmm. I mean, no matter who you are or what stage you are in your life, you know. And so
beautiful.
That's really hard to do. But I think that once you start creating and once you get more comfortable with the idea of that, mm-hmm. you know, like I couldn't have made this record 10 years ago. I wasn't emotionally open enough.
Yeah.
You know?
I even sing songs sometimes that are in my catalog, but from early on, and I'm like, I didn't even get this until now.
Right.
Like you sing it and you're like, wait, now I really get the message.
Yeah.
I thought I got it before, but it makes more sense now.
But I think it's great when you know, you can go into the studio with a collection of songs that you wrote and you realize that, oh, wow, I didn't really know it at the time, but they all seem to fit because of where you are.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's really great.
That's
you know,
the common
it doesn't happen all the time. You know, it does, wherever you are in the cycle of releasing a record, it just doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, it's magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about your fans, because I hear that they give you, do you collect like license plates? Do they give them
Well, I
to
don't
you?
collect them, but they give them to me all the time.
Yes. Well, then you
So
collect
it started,
them.
so I collect them now. So
This
I have
is
a home in the Virgin
awesome.
Islands. Oh yeah, so
Oh my God, is this your home?
that's my house. in
Do
the
you
Virgin
need a
Islands.
house sitter?
Of course. I think we should do the Kelly Clarkson Show from my house.
Yes, I think we should too.
But see, over the years,
Wow.
over the years, you know, fans they give me all these license plates. They have the names of song titles or whatever it is, or lyrics or whatever.
That's
and I've collected them
cool.
over the years, so I just decided to hang them up. You know,
That's
because
so cool.
it brings a little bit of our, I don't know, of our connection.
Is this a sports bar?
It
feels like a
kind of
sports
is.
bar.
It's
like
whatever
it.
bar you want it to be.
Okay, I'm calling it a sports
So it's,
ball bar. Yeah, yes, and great segue. You also make a rum.
Well, speaking of it,
Yeah, it's a great segue. I like rum,
oh my God, you really did
I did,
this.
yes. And you don't have to drink it, but I felt like it
Are
was
you gonna
rude
drink it?
if I didn't try it.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Wait, it hasn't been watered down, has it? Well, I can
Which
fix
one is
that.
this? This is the new
Okay,
one?
yeah. I want to know what it tastes like,
Well,
and
you
I
are from
can't do
Texas.
it via all that agua. I
You
can't.
are from Texas,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It smells nice. I don't know if we can do this on daytime.
You already did it.
Oh, that is.
But see, here's the thing. When I first made my rum
Dangerous.
company, it's called Blue Chair Bay Rum, and so I had to go to Barbados to this distillery and taste it. And they go, well, what do you want it to taste like? And I said, well, I want it to taste a little bit more of this, you know. And so we had a doctor's jacket on, and they had to wear a cap. It was almost like a chemistry lab in a way.
Did you tell them about your quadratic equation?
I did not tell them, but they, you know, so I'm really hands-on, so they make you, you know, you had to taste it a lot.
Yeah.
And the first 10, you know, you're okay, you're still okay. After like the 50th taste, you're going, oh, well, I don't know. I think that's our one.
Yeah, you're like, it's great, it's great. That is really good, man.
Thank you.
It's super smooth. I love the lime. This one's lime, right?
Yeah, that's lime. We've got
rum.
like 12 different flavors now. It's
Oh
crazy.
my God, that's great.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
can have a good time with that. All right.
Especially at that bar.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, if you're not having a good time at that bar with that view, there's something wrong with you inside, and
No
you should
doubt.
talk to someone. Let's do another commercial break. You can get Kenny's latest album, Born, wherever you get your music, and go online for dates and tickets to his Sun Goes Down tour this summer.